Hey, welcome to CAN Bus Communication. Now, I've been contemplating this class for quite a while now, but that's because I wanted to get it right. I wanted to focus on a class where you could take a car with a communication issue and go through the entire process of getting it fixed. There's a lot of really good CAN stuff out there, but what I feel it lacks, or what I really never liked about a lot of it, is so much of it focuses on the protocol itself, the ones and zeros, the binary code, or it focuses on the testing right away, like what does a good lab scope pattern look like? And I don't feel like that's the steps that we take when we're actually diagnosing these things. So what I did was I took notes on what I did when I was diagnosing these in the actual shop in a real world scenario, and I built a class around that. And this is what I came up with. So here are the 4 topics that I'm going to cover. And these topics are also in order of process. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can see that network and troubleshooting is all the way down there on the bottom. And it's down there for a reason. Not just because I think the other 3 are just as important or more important than the actual testing, but a lot of times when we're fixing these things or looking at these things, we'll actually get to a solution before we even get out the lab scope or we even get out the multimeter to test. So starting with communication networks, we're going to talk about the ginormous networks that we're dealing with today and how to break them down into more manageable chunks, something that we can actually diagnose. We're also going to talk about why we break them up and how we break them up. Then we're going to talk about network topology, and this is the wiring layout of the network. And this is also really important because even if we're just talking about CAN bus, there's numerous ways these things can be wired. And if you don't know how something's wired, then yeah, it's kind of hard to test with any piece of equipment. Then we're going to talk about the protocols and languages. And when I say protocols, I mean protocols with an S, because CAN bus has more than one protocol. And there's a lot of other protocols or languages talking around CAN bus on the network, and we need to understand all of them, or at least how to identify them in order to be successful when we're diagnosing CAN bus issues. And once we get those 3 covered, then we're going to talk about the actual network testing and the troubleshooting. And this is a lot of information, I know that. So what I did was I decided to break it up into a 3-part class. And for today, I'm just going to cover communication networks. And why I'm starting with communication networks? Well, I think this picture explains it all. This is what a modern day network looks like. And this is a 2021 Cadillac Escalade. And it's a lot to look at. And if I'm being honest, it's only 2/3 of the actual network. I couldn't even fit the whole thing on here. I tried, but it was so small, you couldn't even pick anything out. And you can kind of see already why we can't just get out our equipment and start testing, because it's more about where to test. Where are we testing than what to test on these new networks? And a good way to explain that is, let's think of this as like a roadmap. You have your roadmap and you could be the best driver in the world, but if you don't know where you're going, you're just going to end up driving around